Hello, we are about to play Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song. I have to explain something. I've played about 6 hours of this game, and the save system is not great, so I lost all of the game. So now I have to start afresh. So bearing in mind that I have already played the first 6 hours of this game, I'm gonna start a new game. Let's go. Let's go. Prince's Quarter, September 4th, 2019, 11 p.m. The Boston Court is in turmoil. A code red alert has been issued, which means a major crisis has occurred. Leisha, and Caleb are summoned by the prince. Right. So I'm going to set timers because when I first played through, I was set timers for 45 minutes each time, or I wasn't setting timers. I was putting my stopwatch on, so after it been 45 minutes I could see. Vampires walk among us. Unknowing, we've built their cities, fought their wars, and sated their hunger. For centuries, these creatures have been organized into rival sects, the largest of which is the Camarilla. In its domains, Camarilla courts enforce the Masquerade, a global conspiracy hiding the existence of vampires from the mortal world. Breaking the Masquerade is punishable by final death. I love how this last one, turns red as it goes and stays for a little bit longer. In Boston, vampire factions have long been at each other's throats. After much conflict, Havel Iverson, the new prince, has sealed a fragile pact with a group of blood sorcerers known as the Hartford Chantry. The Tremere. This alliance will not only provide stability to the domain, but will hand the prince the blood trade. Trafficking of blood and mortal victims that serves the needs of the vampire elite. Tonight, the undead will celebrate. When I first saw this, I was like, oh, we're playing as a
I'll just get this going. There, ready. We're all set. Now, to begin, tell me, what do you see?
I don't know.
Okay. Try this. Focus on your vision.
So to sort of explain that, if you've never played Vampire. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song. If you've never played Vampire before, Malkavians are a clan of vampires who have the ability to spread their delusions amongst people. But sometimes in their delusions they just see the world through a different lens, and so they're likely to see reflections of the future and the past and things like that all mixed together.
Did you feel it too?
Take your stuff. We're getting out of here.
I love the visual of the broken mirror in the background because that is the Malkavian clan's symbol.
We've got a problem.
Call them back.
What's going on?
It's the prince. We must go quickly.
That was her face on the magazine, showing that she's like an up-and-coming CEO, basically. Or business associate of some kind.
Come on. Damn it. Hurry up.
Calm down. Maybe it has nothing to do with the party.
You know full well I was in charge of it. If anything goes wrong, it's my head on the chopping block. Fuck. Damn it! It took Hazel months to convince the Hartford Chantry to ally themselves with us. So they finally accept, and then bam, a code red. There's never been a code red in Boston, damn it! This has gotta be bad, MM.
Dialogue. Skills. In a dialogue, some answers require the use of your skills. Your skill level is compared to that of your opponent. The higher rating wins. You cannot use a skill if it has a rating of 0. Willpower 12. Using a skill consumes willpower. If your opponent wins, you gain a few willpower at the end of the dialogue. So we'll just go with this.
It's not like you had anything to do with it. I'm sure.
You don't get it. I was in charge of organizing the party.
But security is Jara's problem.
Yeah,
normally.
except Jara is a member of the Primogen. I'm not.
But you're a harpy. The prince will cover you. You know she's always looking for an excuse to take him down a notch.
We'll see.
What do we do next?
When everyone's safe, we move on to phase 2. We clean house.
So, as a quick one, we don't yet have our codex. So you'd be confused at this point if you didn't know what a primogen is, or sorry, primogen as they pronounce it, and a harpy is. A primogen is on the Council of Vampires. They basically are just under the prince. They are a council that sort of keeps the prince in check. They are usually the oldest clan member of the clans that are under control in that city. So, for example, in a Camarilla court, in a city where you have Malkavians, Gangrels, Brugia, Tremere, Toreador, Ventru, you'll have the oldest clan member from all of those be the primogen for that clan. Usually, because this is 5th edition of Vampire, they've put a lot of emphasis on the beckoning. The beckoning is something that happens to all vampires. They all sort of feel the pull to move back to the east, where all vampires originated with the original vampire Cain. Because of this, older vampires are more likely to abscond and go. So they're more tactfully putting people in power who are, not the oldest, or possibly not going to age out as quickly as their peers and things like that. So the primogen is an important person within the city and therefore does have a lot of power. But a harpy, which she is, are the people who sort of determine what the trends and the social elite should be aiming for. They are on a sort of a pegging of their own in conjunction with the primogen. They don't have the same power to speak of. They people won't go, oh, we'll turn to that person for help within this city because of this. But harpies, because of their social status, tend to have a lot more feelers out in areas outside of the city and stuff. So they will have a lot of people with their giving them their backing under them, just not in a formal capacity.
Did you say this is the first code red in Boston?
Ever since the fall of London, protocol is no longer a laughing matter.
Whatever. They've been harping on that for 4 years now. They took away our internet access. Our smartphones.
It's called risk mitigation, that's all. A code red is an alarm signal that's sent to everyone to say, watch out, we're all in danger. and everyone runs to shelter at the nearest safe house. For us, it's with the prince. It could have been worse.
I'd have preferred worse.
You're not even listening to me.
The Fall of London is an event that has happened where SI, or better known as the Second Inquisition, which is vampire hunters, have appeared and killed all the vampires in London, or so they believe, or they've made them flee out of London, which is obviously a pretty bad thing, because London is like a hot seat for the vampires. At one time it was Mithras's sort of, he was the Prince of London and he was very well respected. He was like seen as a god back in like across the world before he like essentially traversed the world to come and take the seat of London, before he was diablerized. But because of that, it meant that London had a good population of vampires, and when that population seemingly got a bit too large for it to be unnoticed that they were there, hunters have come in and killed or ran them off. So because of that, the Camarilla, which is the sect that we are in, have stopped the vampires from being able to use technology that's as advanced as currently. Like, they couldn't have a smartphone, they couldn't have like a stable access to the internet, they wouldn't have like Wi-Fi built into their own home and stuff like that, because any information that you share with other people about the masquerade or about vampires or whatever, like hunters can access, especially because some hunters, like, hunters aren't built the same. You've got some who come straight from the church, the Vatican. You've got, that would be the Society of Saint Leopold, who are from the First Inquisition. They're the people who have the Vatican behind them. Then you've got the Second Inquisition, who similarly came up from things like the government finding out about vampires and deciding that the situation needs to be handled, and then seeking out the Vatican. So you've got SI, which is the Second Inquisition, and you've got the Society of Saint Leopold, who are the First Inquisition continuing along the same side, and then you have rogue hunters who are just like humans who have been somehow touched by liminal creatures like vampires, werewolves, wraiths, the Fae, all that sort of stuff, and have decided we need to go and take out these supernatural entities. Think about the brothers from Supernatural, those sort of rogue hunters who aren't as organized and stuff. There is a family trade. They are doing it for the passion of killing these creatures, because these creatures have killed someone that they love, or have, somehow the hunter has become aware that these threats are out there, and they feel the need to go and protect, which is Hunter the Reckoning, which is also connected to the World of Darkness, which Vampire the Masquerade is built in, and you've also got Werewolf the Apocalypse. Okay.
What do you mean by we clean house?
Getting rid of our archives, our documents, anything that might betray our network and relationships.
What comes after phase 2?
Just pray that it never comes to that.
Come on, tell me.
We run, we leave everything behind, and we go into hiding, as far from here as we can.
There's no way I'm leaving Boston. Everything I have is right here in the city. It took me years to build my clubs. I've worked too hard to give it up now.
You won't have a choice.
I know you hate coming here. Are you gonna be alright?
What do you think? I know how to behave, Jay.
Yeah, I know. Just keep your cool and it'll be fine.
I love the way they put texture on skin and stuff in these now.
Ah, my little darlings. You're here at last. The fear that something horrible had happened to you terrified me.
No call for theatrics, April.
The prince asked to see you as soon as you arrived, Amim. I wouldn't dilly-dally if I were you. As for you, Journey, someone's triggered a code red. If anything has happened over there, I'll hold you personally responsible.
So, I'm not a fan of this bit because it's kind of forcing me to do something that I don't want to do. Dialogue disciplines. Vampires have supernatural abilities, usually inherited from their clan disciplines. Some disciplines can be used in dialogues. As with skills, the higher level wins. Not all disciplines are available to all vampires. Some mortals may possess certain powers, although most have no defense against disciplines. Hunger. Using a discipline generates hunger. Hunger has a value that cannot be exceeded. This limits a vampire's use of their powers. A vampire at their hunger limit risks losing control, attacking and feeding on the closest mortal. So, in 5th edition, they've changed the way hunger works. In original editions or previous editions, hunger worked where you have a blood pool, and when you got down to like half of your blood pool or less, or like the further steps away you are from full, the more hungry you are, and therefore the more likely you are to frenzy. So you'd have to roll self-control. Whereas in this, instead of reducing the blood pool, you are increasing hunger. So you have to roll hunger dice with stuff, and if you roll like fails on hunger dice, you get hungrier and hungrier and hungrier until the point where you have to feed on humans. So there's no longer a self-control aspect. Your self-control is determined by how hungry you are. You can't get very hungry and then need to self-control. You are losing self-control as you get hungrier, which is a very smart way of doing it, because the whole point of vampire is it's an allegory for addiction. So you are addicted to the substance. Blood is your everything. Everything else goes out the window because you're constantly after that tasty bloodness, right? So it's basically forcing me to use a discipline because I don't have the persuasion skill, so I can't try it at all because I have 0 in persuasion. Presence, I do have something in, but it makes me hungry, and I don't particularly want to use presence on another vampire in this moment, but I have to because I don't have the option persuasion. But I do like how cool her eyes look when she's got presence activated. So let's go.
You know, back in the day, nobody could bat an eyelash without you knowing about it. You must know exactly what Jay is being blamed for, don't you?
And then, I do. I adore you. Really, I do. But darling, please, you're way out of your league here. This alliance with the Hartford Chantry is crucial. The prince is on edge. We can't get through to anyone over there.
What does this have to do with Jay?
She was in charge of the whole thing, for goodness sake. Listen, both of you. From now on, I don't want to hear another word out of either of you. The prince is furious. Journey, you're coming with me.
I don't see why.
And as for you, Hazel wants to see you. Right now.
Alright, April, calm down. We're okay, lovely. So, this is MM. She is the person we're going to play the most.
It's gonna be a long night.
In the beginning.
Miss Lewis, welcome.
But we're about to be introduced properly, or at least more conversationally, to Caleb.
Who's she, Caleb?
Mem Lewis.
She smiles like a toreador.
She is one.
Letters etched in bold right upon her teeth.
What about that bearded guy who's swallowing his bile?
Dejan Siaka.
A Tremere warlock, then?
Keep him at a healthy distance. With a sideward glance, he could make the blood in your veins boil.
Is court attendance usually this sparse?
We should have all left by now.
Are you worried about the Code Red?
I'd hate to be Caius right about now.
Why?
He's second honcho of house security. This promises to be a busy night.
I know what you mean. It's one thing to have been told that the Nosferatu don't age well. It's another thing to see it for yourself.
It's by no fault of their own.
Do you think you'll be able to ask the prince tonight if you can embrace me?
No. Now is no longer the time.
And he is your child?
Mr. Beryl Underwood.
So, here it seems like the first one is bitch about him, but actually you're not. You're saying that he has a beast beneath the surface, which we all do, which kind of just makes him just another vampire. Talking about him as a member of the Primogen kind of seems like flattery, and I don't want to talk about it to her. Seems a bit like I don't want to talk to her. So I'm just gonna go with members of the Primogen and see what happens, because I've already done he's a real shark last time, so I may as well try this one this time.
Tread lightly. He's a member of the Primogen.
They're the check to the prince's power.
The check and balance. They backed Hazel when she rose to power after Quentin King. They'd hoped to control her.
What?
Oh, interesting.
Things didn't go as planned?
I just have a feeling she will surprise them. Never forget that the court is a chessboard.
Vampires
We
and
are
chess hands.
monsters, and we sacrifice pawns. If you want to be a major piece, then behave accordingly.
But...
Nothing can happen to you here. We're in the prince's house.
Oh,
She
honey.
must be finished by now. Wait for
You're
me.
so wrong.
This won't take long.
It's out of the question, MM. I won't let her get away with this.
All right. Calm down, Dijon.
Where's Journey?
What's it to you?
Don't start with me. She was in charge of the party. She has to take responsibility for this.
Leave her out of it.
It's too late for that. Don't waste your time covering for her. She's not a kid anymore. I haven't heard from my child, and no one's able to get through to them over there.
Go on then. Go and save Imani and stop wasting your breath.
There are rules. Need I remind you? We're all stuck here.
You're such a good boy.
You'll never change.
Dijon.
What? Oh, come on, Hilda, she needs to grow up.
Leave us.
I don't need your help.
Mem, please.
Stop calling me that.
I was worried about you.
You still haven't moved on, have you? You're always getting in my way.
Lower your voice. People are staring.
Dialogue. Focus. Focus allows you to temporarily increase a skill by 1 or 2 levels. The more you increase your focus, the more the willpower cost increases. To be focused, a skill must have a minimum score of 1 point. Disciplines or knowledge cannot be focused. Go. So I can meet her in rhetoric. I don't think I can meet her in intimidation because I don't think I have intimidation. Tie. If the dialogue or discipline levels are the same, the outcome of the conflict is uncertain. The chance of victory can be influenced by a number of bonuses or penalties, as well as spending experience points. Opponent behavior. Your opponent can also focus their own skills. Unlike you, focus only allows them to increase their skill level by 1 level. Player behavior. The risk of opponent focus is represented by a percentage. The more aggressive you are, skill focus, or use of disciplines, the more the risk of an opponent's focus will increase.
Do you know what this Code Red is all about? You're in the Primogen. You must know something.
I'm in the same boat as the rest of you. Apparently, it was from one of Moore's retainers. That's all I know.
Who's that?
Jason Moore. Don't you remember him? He's the human who manages our interests when the sun comes up. He handles our assets, errands with the banks.
What does he have to do with this?
I don't know. It now seems that Miss Hazel Iverson, the mighty Prince of Boston, is no longer on speaking terms with the Primogen. as if now were the ideal time.
She asked to see me. Do you know why?
My best guess is that she'd like to talk to you about Journey, of course. I always warned you that girl was trouble.
Yeah, sure. I've gotta go. Hazel must be upstairs. I'd better hurry.
What about Jara? I haven't seen her.
Councillor Drury is not here, nor is Dr. Dunham. Mr. Leto's teams are trying to reach them, but...
Nobody's answering?
No.
They've all got such long faces. Hey, Abby.
Hey,
Abby, do you know what's going on?
I'm sorry, but I can't.
Please? I feel like I've been plopped down in the middle of a minefield.
There are rumors about Journey. Rumors about how this is all her fault. Did you know that Jay was in charge of the party?
Shit. I bet she's gonna take the fall for whatever happened.
I don't think she's involved, but we've got to be on our guard.
Cool, thank you. So that was the way we came in, and this is the way up to the princess. Yeah.
What a shitty night. Hazel must be pissed.
I love
What
her.
the hell could she want with me?
So pretty though, it's been braided with the pretty like rings in it. Just beautiful. I love that when hair has jewelry in it. It's like those Viking rings that go into plaits and things like that. I love this because it makes me very intrigued as to what is behind the door, because it's evident that it's important to our Malkavian, the thing behind this door. But we never get close enough to see it. It's just ominous.
Is everything okay, Mom? Penny for your thoughts?
Nothing, Pumpkin. What were you saying?
You saw pictures again? You're not going back to the Institute, are you?
No, don't fret. I'm gonna stay here with you now.
I don't like it when Richard takes you away.
He's my psychiatrist. He's helping me so I can be with you. Mom has a little trouble sometimes, remember? I see things that haven't happened yet. And I forget others.
Yes, I know. And you have to slumber so you can rest all alone sometimes. But 3 years was too long.
They put her into torpor for 3 years, so her daughter was all on her lonesome in that time.
It seemed like an eternity without you.
I missed you too, Mom.
I need my sweet little monster.
Mom? What's going on? Why does everybody look so upset?
I think something serious is happening. I'm worried. I still haven't seen Richard. I looked for him so he could explain, but he can't be found.
So, what do we do now?
I was told to wait here, because Hazel wants to see us. There are grown-ups coming, and your mother needs to talk to them.
Oh, then I'll go hide, because grown-ups talk to me too much.
If you want, sweetie. But don't wander off. Go on. Show me what you do to make sure no one spots you.
Okay, here I go.
Leisha. It's been a while.
Hey, MM.
When did you get out?
Just tonight. Hazel wanted to see me.
That means she's extremely worried about the situation.
That, or she's a major drama queen.
Show Prince more respect. His thing is eternal, like, savior or whatever the hell his thing is. So, like, he's gonna stand up for the prince. So I'm gonna go with that.
I know that you knew her before, but she's the leader of Boston now. You owe her respect before everyone, and in every circumstance. She is your prince.
Are you lecturing me? First Siaka, now you. Why won't anybody give me a break tonight?
Maybe you asked for it.
Or maybe if you behaved in a manner more appropriate to the circumstances and our setting, then you'd better understand why everyone is so nervous.
He does have business lecturing you kind of as an elder, but also, like, it is evident from the way she is, and also she's a rebellious star, that she's not going to accept shit. Either of these two things works, but she will end up getting told off regardless, because she's pushing back against them all anyway.
Siaka jumped down my throat. Was I supposed to let him take his nerves out on me? No, I'm sorry. That's not how things work, Bazori.
We must all remain calm and accept any help we can get, even from the most unusual sources.
That's surprising to hear, coming from a blue blood. At least your certainties come from a more solid source than a prophecy from a child of Malkov.
You don't know what you're talking about.
All I'm saying is that whatever the problem is, your hallucinations aren't gonna help us solve it.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
And yet, many of the things I saw ended up happening. Quentin King's disappearance, Hazel's rise to power, your breakup with Hilda too. But you're probably right. It's just Hazel and her flair for the dramatic.
Only time will tell.
Good evening, ladies, sir. The prince shall see you now.
Cool. Right, so what I've just been doing with my iPad is figuring out where to put my points for this, and my reason for doing so is there's a few moments in the game where you have to have conversations with people. And if you look at the way this sort of sets up a profile for you, like investigator, it gives you no education. I know for a fact there will be a moment in this beginning section where we will need education. I'm pretty sure all of them refuse to give education. Character sheet. At the start of a scene, previously earned experience points can be spent to improve the character's abilities. These abilities are divided into two areas, the character sheet and the discipline sheet. Attributes. Each attribute reflects a specific list of skills and disciplines. Attributes increase the chance of victory in a case of a tie. Improving them also decreases the willpower cost of focus. Knowledge. The use of knowledge skills do not have a willpower cost, and they cannot be improved by using focus. So, basically, when we're in conversations with people, we can try and push the dialogue ones with focus, but the knowledge ones we can't. And if we don't have anything in knowledge, when it comes to finding things, we're kind of boned, kind of screwed. And if we don't have anything in education, can't read. I'm not joking. There's moments where you find things and it's like, I could use my education to read this and apply the knowledge from reading this to do something, where it just makes you illiterate if you don't have education. So yeah, discipline menu. The discipline sheet contains disciplines the character possesses. Discipline powers, experience points invested in discipline increase the level and can provide additional powers. Discipline powers can be passive and may be used in dialogue or in exploration. Great. So, we're going to get the first dot in everything, just off the bat. Auspex, she has 2 dots in with investigation. Jack of all trades. We have more in attributes. Our attributes look pretty good, apart from the fact that as a Toreador, I don't know why they throw it into physical for her. She should be more social and mental, unless they're thinking of her celerity. But celerity is a discipline, and I don't think it actually uses physical prowess at all. No, because it's just its own power. Veteran, nothing in exploration, nothing in knowledge, and more in the dialogue skills, which is great, but again, when we're wandering about, it's not going to be of any use to us. So the first time I did it, I just did it with 3 like this and built it up myself, and basically put a dot in everything, which is the true jack of all trades, I think. So 1 dot, 1 dot, 1 dot, 1 dot, 1 dot. That's what I did. And then I came back to put more in social, because she is a social creature, and she is probably more likely to use rhetoric and persuasion as a Toreador, in my personal, like, that's what I believe anyway. Same with, so this is again why I'm going social and mental. Also, I really haven't maxed out on my skills too much here, so it still feels like I'm doing good. I could do that, and it's probably necessary to have those. In fact, technology might be better. I can cancel that one and put it in technology instead. I don't think she needs to lockpick. I don't remember her needing to lockpick, and that's what you need security for. Technology is more about using computers and stuff, and everyone in this needs to use technology. So this is why I was looking at a little, this is a spoiler-free guide on Reddit, where someone has basically said, try to do these things, because then you will have a better chance of these skills. Basically, they've said that they've done it because they get decision paralysis, and because in the very beginning it shows you those moments where you are set to fail, where when I used presence, even though I didn't want to, I was kind of boned. So I've got all of those. The last one had given me Auspex 2, which reveals memories connected to an item, which I don't need at this point, I don't think. Or do I? Let's find out together. Oh, that's what I wanted. Thank you. Okay. No! What? Why? At least it saves it. Okay. So I still have 30 points to spend. So I can put... Oh, I could still put a second dot in technology. Oh, okay. I think that is going to be one of the best builds for right now, but I'm not sure. This has some hints and tips. Which perhaps I should follow. So they've given me some great information without telling me how it's going to affect me. They've basically said 4 best options, do this type of feeding and do this, that and the other. So it hasn't really told me about skill dots, except to say if I put the second, I don't bother putting a second dot in celerity, for example, for because it won't be necessary until you come back to the Princess Haven after being sent away on a mission. So anything that's going to happen currently in here is not going to need celerity. It tells me to drink both male donors because it will lower my XP for celerity and Auspex, which is great and helpful. Auspex is going to reveal interesting details to me in my first mission, so I'm going to use it. and try to eat rats. It says because that will be useful later down the line when it makes their blood efficiency better. So that's great. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna follow this online person's advice because it seems like sound advice, and I'm letting you know that I am kind of cheating by getting advice in the first place. I don't want to hold secrets back from people.
Delson. Come in, MM. I wanted to have a word with you.
What can I do for you?
I'm glad you're here. It's been a long time since we last saw each other. Tell me, where were you tonight?
Like everybody else, I suppose. At home, getting ready for the party.
How fortunate you weren't running early.
Why? What's happened?
You know what the Code Red means. There was a breach. This is intolerable. These agreements were supposed to celebrate the power of my court. Instead, I've been made to look a fool in the eyes of my allies. We'll have to increase our diplomatic efforts with the Warlocks. Send new emissaries to Osborne.
What's that got to do with me?
Don't you worry about that for now. We have more urgent matters to attend to. We bring Journey to me.
What do you want with her?
I have a few questions I need to ask her. If mistakes were made, I need to know what happened. I'm sure that your friend will have a lot to tell me.
Yes, my prince. I'll be right back.
I didn't bring you here just for that. I have something to offer you.
I'm listening.
It's about the Primogen Council. You know everyone who's in it. Beryl, Richard, Hilda. Their support was much appreciated after the disappearance of the previous prince.
Quentin King.
But now, they've become an obstacle. It's been going on for months. They systematically oppose everything that I do. It must stop now.
See, having an education of just one means that we get to say this, whereas we just have to sit silent before. I think saying this actually gets us a little pat on the head.
That's nothing new. That's rule number 1 of all the Primogen. The contrary would be worrisome.
That's what I thought too. But after tonight, well, I wonder. The Camarilla has faced many challenges in the past few years. Many of our strongholds have fallen. I won't let Boston suffer the same fate. But for that, I need loyal allies. Also, how would you like a spot in the Primogen?
What?
You've always taken care of your community, MM, without ever asking for anything in return. It might be time you took a leading role in the community's affairs.
Hilda won't let you do it. She'll never see me as her equal. Being seated next to her child? She'll feel humiliated.
I'm her prince. She will obey me.
She's not gonna like it.
I don't care. What I'm offering is much bigger than all that. What do you think?
I said previously I need to think about it. I want to see what the response is to I don't like the court.
You know what I think of the court. I'm not comfortable there.
You'll get used to it quickly.
I'm not sure I want to.
It's not a question. Time is of the essence. You're a businesswoman, MM. I know you'll be up to it, but we'll talk about it again soon. In the meantime...
I know. Jay, I'm going to go see Sylvia first. I need to clear my head.
Do it. You won't be able to hunt tonight. It's better to be prepared. Bring me Journey.
I will.
I have the utmost confidence in you, MM. Do not fail me.
You can count on me. What the hell is going on?
I'm happy to see you in one piece.
Hey, Syl. I'd like some refreshment, please.
Of course, I'll get you a glass.
I was thinking more like a vessel.
Oh, serve yourself. But try not to damage them, okay? They're all I've got left in stock.
I get it, I'll be careful.
I'm right here if you need anything else.
The Hunt safe zone. A safe zone is a place where no one can see you feed. You can find them by exploring the surroundings. Only one prey may be sent to a safe zone at a time. The first time I played this,
from anyone.
the game kind of glitched.
Now's not the time to be thinking about
So
that.
I didn't see.
We're not the only ones freaking.
Safe zone found. The Hunt. Prey. Prey will naturally be revealed to you as you approach them. To feed, you will need to find a safe zone, which I have. You can lure your prey to. So go after isolated prey. If it is surrounded by potential witnesses, sending the prey to a safe zone will increase suspicion of you. Okay, that's fine.
Ow, look around. Exactly. We've got to keep our wits about us. Got it? Yeah.
So I have 2 safe zones. So what I'm gonna do is talk to this guy.
Come on. It won't take long.
Going.
I missed what they were talking about, but clearly there's the vessels are having some there's a fear in them. So the first time I fed on this, the purple bar didn't generate for me at all. So I accidentally held it all the way up to the final point, which kills the prey. Where are you going, my boy? No, it's not playtime. It's not a thing. I'm gonna scoot forwards, and you guys are gonna have to move. That's just how that goes. The Hunt. The Kiss. Vampires use their powers to charm or subdue their prey and satisfy their hunger. When feeding on prey, you can control the amount of blood you take. Press and hold the button to increase the amount of hunger eliminated. If you do not press the button, or you don't release it before the bar is full, prey will die, drained of its blood. Killing prey will increase suspicion. Mortals will be on their guard, while vampires will question your respect for the masquerade. That's fine. So that didn't generate last time. There was no purple on the bar, so I just held it because I was waiting for it to do something, and it was a glitch. And I thought, wrongfully, that I must have to guess how much of this bar is filling. No, you don't. Resonance. Some prey, their blood emotionally charged, have a resonance that your character will earn after feeding. At the end of a scene, a resonance provides an experience bonus for the corresponding disciplines. If more than one resonance is acquired during a given scene, only the last one acquired is saved. Second bite. If your prey survives, you may feed on it a second time. However, this will cause it to die and increase your suspicion. Right, so I've got a timer going to make sure that I stop around the 45-minute mark each time to keep these videos short. So, thank you for staying and playing. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll be right back. Bye.